Over the years, I have seen much and much to acclaim. How my journey to the stage became one for the bookies if they could simply bet on my name. Share the code around with would-be lungs seeking to be inspired. Hand the slip loud like syndromes where R is a proliferation. LR syndrome, okay. Where R is a proliferation in sentences, but since it is in abundance in this piece, I guess it had to suffer a violation. I've been violated throughout my life, and even as I take a time for me to sit down and ponder as to why I am hit with a small equation in which I realize that me trying to equate my suffering to the question of why me was simply a gross enactment of a conflation. I always thought of myself as someone special. You know, bad things shouldn't tend to happen in me or to me. But then, what happened was I became adept and an expert at playing dead to the eventualities, so much so that my mind started to be protected by a tomb. You see, in this tomb, I mummified religiosity and even discarded anything remotely close to me catching the Holy Ghost for free. I mean, freedom. Freedom in and of itself started to mean to me that I could make stupid decisions and be absolved of the responsibility. And since Adam did it first, I'd simply blame woman, forsaking my identity. You see, God in me decided that it was better for my being to be salvaged. He took much into consideration when he cashed in his son for my propitiation. Say then, seeing that now I have been blood bought and brought back into being considered a son of him, then doesn't it mean that becoming one with a being that transcends men, definitively in which I am termed as a bride of Christ, infinitely make more sense? You see, God and I have been wrestling. And I am no Jacob because my hips are still in proper motion. He reigns. He reigns over my tribal chief, and it proved that my attempts at trying to be Roman were simply a mockery in the form of a spear to his side. I will be acknowledged, even though I already said yes 4 times. The lion by Daniel's side proves to me that it's a reminder of the one from Judah. But in many more ways than one, I will have mines dug deep to pressure the stones for diamonds in keep. And since the gates of hell will not prevail, and in those moments that I hit rock bottom, he still echoes to me, can you smell what God is cooking? Because the foundation is firm. Paul Heyman carrying an urn with the ashes of the innocent that have gotten to mark him. The art gets as dark as the ghost of Spartacus. And in this sport, I get philosophical with the wrestling moves. I just oozed a bunch of ink that I left to beckon you, to remind you that to get everything that I have said and to discover its truth, you would have to play this back 3 times to figure 4 ways that God and I have wrestled through the flare of this life and the palindrome that it creates where you thought that it was God and I, when really the truth is the mirror effect of this piece was that it was God in you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.